Welcome back to the Chow Time Pod. It's your host Red. I got a video today from Sandman. I really like his channel. He does really good work too. This one is men are waking up and feminists aren't happy. MGTOW guys, and passport bros, really it affects both. And I love that men are waking up. A lot of men are waking up to seeing what's going on. They're waking up to the red pill. They're waking up to the manosphere. They're waking up to passport bros. They're waking up to MGTOW. And they're knowing their worth. Like I said in other videos, knowing your worth is a big deal. Having your own standards and living by your standards. And women are upset. Why? Because women don't seem to fit into the men's standards in the West. And why they're upset is because now men are actually pursuing our own standards and not just dealing with whatever woman is in front of us. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Hi everyone, Sandman here. This video was brought to you by a bunch of great people.
Again, shout outs to Sandman for doing this great video. I know a lot of you guys, a few of you guys comment on his videos, so I know you guys watch his stuff too.
That have been giving me super likes on the Sandman 2 YouTube channel, so I thought I'd cover a topic in their honor. You know who you are. Recently I came across a post called Men Are Finally Waking Up, and Feminists Aren't Happy. And the woman making it says this, and I quote, "How did so many men become so angry so fast? I'm a 24-year-old."
How did we become so angry so fast? It's called just knowing the truth angers us. This is why there's such thing as a red pill rage when men were so blue pilled and such a simpy, and then they learn how the world truly works. They're like, well, fuck, I operated this way my whole life and I couldn't get anything, and this is why.
Female and left for a 3-week vacation and came home to family, friends, and coworkers. Suddenly all using the men's rights and manosphere slang. I won't repeat it here, but the more I learn, the more frightening it is. My fiance laughed about my cousin's so-called pretty privilege, then asked me what I brought to the table as a partner other than looks and education. For the first time in 2.5 years, he asked me in uncomfortable detail about my past partners. I answered honestly, and he replied that we'll be splitting up the expenses from now on. He earns at least 5 times what I do. I reached out to my family and friends then, but no conversation, with the exception of my dad, has gone further than asking how much my fiance earns. Then awkward silence. Is this gaslighting? Or am I just going insane? The full context is that all he does is play video games all day while spending 2 hours promoting his family's company online each day. It's nice that he has time to learn about men's rights. I, on the other hand, actually work, unquotes. Here's hoping that I've made enough of a contribution to the manosphere in the last 10 years to add to this woman's fiance's red pill rage. This woman is getting a taste of equality and she doesn't like it.
Yep.
She sounds like a gold digger getting together with a man that has a successful family business. He makes 5 times the money that she does, partially because his family is paying him more, and also because he's working smarter instead of harder.
Correct.
But some people have said that this is also a fake post. Maybe. But red pill ideas have been seeping into the mainstream culture for quite some time now. Even mentioning Andrew Tate's name in English schools will get kids suspended.
Dude, mentioning Andrew Tate in like any scenario outside in the world is going to get you some kind of fucking look or something. I talk about Andrew Tate like here and there sometimes. And yeah, a lot of women give me this look.
That's how powerful manosphere ideas are.
Yep.
Women just don't know how to adapt to this digital world where ideas about women spread from one man's mind to another, like a virus. A woman can't control what a man listens to online. Just look at this woman go on her 3-week-long vacation and leaves her fiancé unsupervised at home, long enough for him to find and listen to enough content about female nature, digest it, and then start to question the nature of their relationship. She, of course, feels powerless and is only posting this to whine, complain, and use people that will listen to her complain as an emotional tampon. She's not really looking for solutions.
Nope.
In the past, before the internet,
I mean, there's no solution she can really do. Once the man is opened up his eyes, you can't go back. It's like the Matrix, Once you take that pill, you ain't ever going back.
And YouTube, when you can only communicate online, women would choreograph all your public outings with their family and friends. They would all be carefully chosen to not have a man that's a bad influence rub off on you. You should have heard one time when I expressed red pill ideas at a party years ago about female nature, without even realizing what I was doing, and suddenly other men started showing their disdain for the women around them. The women were shocked and horrified at me, But they were even more shocked that other men thought the same way that I did, and the women freaked out about a so-called eruption in misogyny. I'll discuss more in a moment. But first, let me tell everyone about today's sponsor, the Red Pill Ring. The Freemasons have their own rings, and now so do we. When another MGTOW sees your gold, silver, or bronze ring, he's going to know exactly what it means and that your precious, precious ring. Do it fast before Gollum with boobs stops you. Anyways, now back to even women that marry young and lock down a good rich man are at risk of losing him to the Manosphere Clown World show. This woman settled down with her fiance at the age of 21, in her prime. Not much time to ride the choo-choo train. Because of that, she's done everything right and landed what sounds like a top-level man that's earning six figures. She's attracted to him because she's with him before the age of 25, and she's even got commitment from him. She thought life would be easy, and then suddenly he discovered his true value. She hasn't even hit the wall yet, and he's already questioning the nature of their relationship. What happens in a few years when
That's good. I hope this help. This channel, my channel, all the Manosphere channel helps men do exactly this. Question their relationship, question their worth, and understand that where they're coming from and where they're going.
her looks start to fade and the money he keeps making increases? She's also complaining that when she brings up the issue of her fiance to other people and they ignore the situation. That's not gaslighting. It's just that no one wants to talk about your relationship problems, honey.
Yeah.
They don't want to risk telling you what to do, you then doing it, and it blowing up in your face. And then you go back and get angry at them for failing with their advice. Now this woman knows what it's
That's what a lot of people do, men and women.
like to be your typical man talking to others about relationship problems. No one cares. Also, the fact that this woman's fiance laughed at her cousin's so-called pretty privilege means that she's most likely a leftist saying things like that, and odds are he's a conservative.
Yep.
This woke woman really lucked out finding a rich, conservative, and good-looking man. She shouldn't be worried about him learning about the manosphere as much as she should be worried about him figuring out her crazy politics, and then leaving her because of that. A lot of women mistakenly call the manosphere all right.
Yep.
But men naturally have to be independently minded, and that doesn't bode well for those on the left, that demand that you adopt their ideas without questioning them. It's in most men's nature, especially the intelligent ones, to think for themselves. Now that red pill ideas have gone mainstream and women can't stop them, they're going to have to bring more to the table. Because
And they can't. They really can't. Not the women in the West. Well, they can, but then they can't. They can and they won't. That's more anything. And it's not that they won't either. They don't even have the ability to do it. Like, yes, they won't do it, and they don't have the ability to do it, to bring anything into the table compared to other women. And this is where men don't want to deal with it. We don't want to have to train a woman to be a woman, just like women don't want to train men to be men. So we'd rather go to a woman that's already the type of woman we want, because changing a person ain't gonna work. You can't change a person. Doesn't matter what the fuck, where the fuck, who the fuck it is. It's very difficult to change a person.
because guys will increasingly be demanding that women do that. There's no way for women to do damage control with the red pill either. How is that woman supposed to unred pill her fiance? Now she just has to hope and pray that he doesn't go his own way. Women 5 years from now will probably count themselves lucky if they found themselves in a similar situation. Because I'm hearing teenage boys talking about men's issues and going their own way before they
I love it. I love it. Sandman's right. I hear a lot of younger kids talking about it. I talk about it with my younger cousins, my cousins' kids. I guess those would be nephews. Yeah, I guess those are nephews. And yeah, it's such a deal. And then there's I have some that are very simpy because we're Asian, and some of my cousins are very nice, docile people. So some of my little nephews came out pretty simpy and weak in a sense. And like seeing them struggle with women, and they're only like 16, like 16, 18, and just crying over women and just like, oh, my life is over because of women. It upsets the shit out of me. It really does. And I'm proud to make them get out of that quicker.
even start dating. They're learning about the sexual marketplace before they're even old enough to have sex. Then again, that may not be happening because the younger guys I've spoken to, some of them say there are a lot of couples out there in middle school. While I was growing up, there were a couple of couples in middle school. Now it seems like half the class. Maybe all the corn that these kids watch these days is making them more interested at a younger age.
This is true.
Plus, I've heard from many girls.
Hell, you know what? I didn't date at all in high school. I didn't start dating till I was like 19, I think, in college. So, no girlfriends, no dates, nothing in high school for me. Probably because I was a pretty nerdy, angry little kid, and I wasn't really having women anyways because I was a pretty angry kid and just was focused on schooling and friends and sports. So,
They lost their virginity back at the age of 13 or 14.
God
So the
dang.
situation is totally crazy. But getting back to this woman's story, she's right that men are getting angry because they're learning about the ideas found in the manosphere.
Yep.
They're learning about the red pill rage that I coined many years ago, and men get angry fast when they're red pilled.
Yep.
It's like a eureka moment.
It
It takes
is.
you a bit to
It literally is a eureka moment for a lot of men. You know, I get some good comments back, on my other videos here, just how some of this content has really shown them and helped them grow into a better person, a better man, to give them purpose, give them, understanding women better. I hear a lot of good things from men just like that are especially newer men that get into this space through my content or whatever. And it it makes me so proud to do what I do and to make content like this when more and more men. I'm not a big fan of the red pill rage itself because it makes men lash out, but fully understand that it's fully necessary for men to go through it.
digest it consciously and a little bit longer for your subconscious to process things. But when it does, you eventually feel completely ripped off by women
Yep.
and society for never telling you about female nature.
Mm.
Once many men realize that women won't bring much more than looks to the relationship and they can't love us the way that we love them, it's over.
That's a big problem. I think a lot of men don't realize that women do not love us the same way we love them. And that's actually a big problem for a good chunk of men, especially the ones that are very blue pill that, like that princess, prince, Disney fairy tale, thinking that the woman's going to fully fall in love with them. It just doesn't work that way. It hasn't worked that way in ages.
Women can no longer attract men. He's been taken over by the MGTOW mind virus, and there's no way to bring him back. Sure, he might bargain and go back to dating for a while the way that I did many years ago, but if he keeps his wits about him, he'll soon see how bad the game really is. Women are right to restrict men's ability to access information about female nature.
It's true. I've been dating a lot more again recently, and it's it's not fun. Maybe here and there, somewhat fun, but overall, it's just like another job. It feels like it's so tedious to be doing this because most of the women that I match with or date aren't that fun. They aren't what I'm looking for. They aren't someone that wants to build with me. And I just don't really want to waste time with someone that doesn't want to do those things.
It doesn't matter if it's PUA, MRA, MGTOW, or incel content. All of it eventually leads to the same place, where a man is disenchanted from all women. But what would I do if I were a woman? Exactly what this one is doing. Complaining about men learning about this information. And that's it. That's all the majority of them will ever do.
This is
The
true.
ones that get really angry and motivated might contact social media companies and try and get them to censor this sort of content, and it does work in Latin America, where they successfully got YouTube to ban all MGTOW content, as well as other platforms. They were vicious down there. Amir over at MGTOW TV told me that it got so bad in Colombia when he was down there visiting that MGTOW TV was blacklisted as adult content.
What?
Meanwhile, you have tons of Colombian e-thoughts on Chatterbait.
This is the problem that we have in the West. When women collectively don't want something, they do have power to be able to vote things in and to stop men. Like,
Making piles of cash in the West from simps, and that sure isn't blacklisted over here. But most white Western women will never go on a flagging or banning attack,
nope.
unless they're black, and in that case, I've had multiple videos flagged by the Swirling Sisterhood, and even got a strike from them once. But the majority of women in the West will never do that, because they're just too damn lazy. Even the Swirling Sisterhood couldn't even stop the red pill when it comes to black men out there.
This is true.
Even the guys in Latin countries can still use other platforms to spread the message like MGTOW TV, or they can use a VPN. Hopefully by the time you hear this, I'll be selling VPN services. That way it won't matter how much women censor YouTube because you'll be able to access MGTOW content all over the world. Even Canada is about to start their YouTube censorship at some point. So it's a must have when it comes to surfing a free and open internet. Thinking of MGTOW as a virus that frees men is essential.
Yeah.
But in the end, we're going to have to figure out alternative ways to reproduce without potentially losing custody of our kids to the women out there. That is, if we're interested in the human species and the project of civilization continuing. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks to all the great guys on YouTube that gave me super likes on the Sandman 2 channel.
Ooh, shout outs again to Sandman. Women. More men are waking up, more women are being upset that men are waking up. Why? Because that red pill rage. And again, I don't fully like it. I had it myself when I got red pilled originally. I was pretty upset. And I fully understand why men need to go through it to fully understand themselves and to fully understand the world. But I dislike that, during that phase, men are pretty aggressive. Men are pretty fuck women, then this and that. Because I was like that. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.